Hello and welcome to my Heavy Metal Kitchen. I'm really excited to talk about my top 10 from 2023. Thankfully, I've had a good year and many blessings, and I hope you have as well. I honestly haven't found 10 albums that I've liked this year, but I've really liked 7, but I'm just going to name a few things to make it 10. The Dead Daisies. Here's their latest video, and I think it's excellent. It's called Resurrected. I love the way that it was filmed, first of all, this video. It looks killer, and I really like the song, especially halfway through. After the solo, it changes. I like that orchestrated background. It reminds me of Live and Let Die, sort of Paul McCartney kind of thing. I love it. Number 9. Now, I just heard this a few weeks ago. Sebastian Bach, What Have I Got to Lose? I really like this video. Highlights of some people we all recognize, I'm sure. Craig Gass is in the beginning, and as well as Rob Alfuso, the drummer of Skid Row, is in there, the original Skid Row. I think this sounds great. It reminds me of the second album, kind of a little bit Slave to the Grind, Mud Kicker vibe to it. I do like what they're doing now, but I just think this sounds like Skid Row. It sounds good. I love it. And I'm looking forward to hearing what Sebastian's going to be putting out in 24. 8. Now this is a little bit of a surprise. My son listens to some bands that I don't really care for, but I guess that's the way it is. It should be. He's 13 after all. But the Slipknot Stone Sour singer Corey Taylor. I really like this song Beyond. I think it's really good. Okay, now for the full albums. We'll start at 7. Santiago Ramonda. I met him earlier this year. He did a version of That Time of Year by Vinnie Vincent, and he did a fantastic job. And I was teasing the when I was part of the Vinnie group about him being the singer. He lives in Argentina, so that was impossible. But we got to be friends, and we talk on social media, and a super nice guy. Wow, what a talent. He plays guitar, he sings, pretty amazing stuff on his channel, and he's involved with this band. So I wish him all the luck. It's a great album, and it's a little reminiscent of the 80s. You can hear it in this track here. Track 6, Winger.
You're losing blood, face down in mud. Nothing is clear in a river of tears. Proud desperado, where are your heroes? Proud desperado, where are your false idols now? Bullets fall like rain, but nothing bleeds forever. No one hears you, no one feels your pain.
Good for Winger. The track is called Proud Desperado. It's a very heavy track, and it really surprised me to hear Kip, getting like this, the whole band getting so heavy. I love this band, I always have. Same lineup, and especially love Red Beach. He always brought something special to Winger, in my opinion, and it still sounds great. It sounds fresh. Kip sounds like he did in the 80s. It's amazing. And I've seen them over the years, and they really take care of themselves. So props to Winger. Track 5, Winery Dogs.
Read to me your sacred right, preach to me unveiled. Write me in your history, the God was crazy. Yeah, practice on your partisans, initiated slave. I won't ever settle down, I'm on my own.
I've seen them before at M3, and I was very impressed. Just all the talent you could ask for. I didn't even realize how good. Remember when Richie Kotzen used to sing for Poison? I do remember that, but my God, he didn't sing. He played guitar for CeCe for a while, but my God, he's a great singer. The whole band is great. I really enjoyed the songs Xanadu. The album's called 3, and it's very good. Groovy kind of tracks. Jazz infused rock, melodic hard rock, I guess. I don't know what you call it, but it's very good. LA Guns, You Betray, off the album Black Diamonds. Now, if you watch my videos, you know that I really am a big fan of LA Guns. Always have been. And it is a killer track. It's a little bit high on the reverb. That's one of the things I don't like about some of the bands, that it just turns me off when there's too much of that compressed sound. Black Diamonds, very interesting kind of, I guess you'd call it a ballad, but check it out. And I'm gonna have all these songs in a playlist. The 3 songs I'm gonna say I'm putting all together. It's a 3-way tie. Rock City Machine Company. I noticed them browsing on YouTube, Rock City Machine Company. It's a lot of words to remember. Some of the best music I've listened to on first listen, and I loved it immediately. It reminds me of a rock and roll party. He sounds like it's Ryan Cook and Jeremy Asbrook, and probably the Kiss fans know them from Gene Simmons' solo band, as well as now Ace Frehley's solo band. They both play guitars on this album. They are great, and the singer Ryan reminds me of Jack Blades, and the music kind of is reminiscent to me of Night Ranger. Especially it reminds me of some of their hits, not Sister Christian, but like Don't Tell Me You Love Me. I get that vibe when I listen to this album, and it's so good. Let's see, Can't Stop the Train, first single, it was the first song. I made a video medley doing my cooking last week, and I combined all 8 of the tracks. There's 8 tracks on here, and it definitely sounds like something familiar to me. I grew up in the 80s. I graduated in 92, so this is very familiar. Doesn't sound like Kiss, although some of the solos have a little bit of a vibe to them of Kiss, of an Ace Frehley kind of vibe, but I don't, but it's great.
Gotta keep moving, never gonna slow down. You can have your funky world, yeah. See you around, 'cause I got the ramble. Rambling man, no, I got the ramble. Rambling man, 'cause I'm a rambling, gambling man.
Number 1, I wasn't a big fan of their album Hardwired to Self-Destruct. Metallica, 72 Seasons. It kind of reminds me a little more of Master of Puppets. I love the first track, 72 Seasons, as well as the last track. I think that is the real masterpiece on this album. Like 11 and a half minutes, but it's worth it, and it just gets better every time you listen to it. I really love that song. Apparently it's about somebody that's obsessed with being miserable, pretty much. Deep lyrics, angry lyrics, miserable lyrics, pretty much, but I guess that's what they were going for. But it's really good, and I love the changes throughout the song. It changes about three or four times. I love it, especially right before it ends. Kirk Hammett does an amazing job with the guitars in this song, and James Hetfield sounds very strong, very good. Master of Puppets feel, and I can hear a little bit of Orion vibe to it. But yeah, it sounds really good, and I did not mind the Black Album. I know a lot of people did, but I hear a little bit of that too. Heaven's Edge. Does anyone remember Heaven's Edge? They were a big deal where I was growing up in Philadelphia. Singer Mark Evans and Reggie Wu. Reggie Wu played guitar, and he was like a legend in town. He's really good, a real shredder. It's nice to know they're still making albums. And I saw them a couple times at M3 last spring, and they were there as well as a few years ago, and I was very impressed. They've kept up their talent also, and I always thought Heaven's Edge was a missed opportunity. They just came into it a little too late. Their self-titled debut came out in 1990. They were playing everywhere, but I think their album came out in 90, and it just didn't catch on. But they had a couple of hits, Skin to Skin and Find Another Way, and which was the ballad, and great band. And this album is just as good. It's called Get It Right. Video for What Could Have Been, which is kind of like a throwback to the 80s, but I really think that the best is the first one, Had Enough. that's a good track. Yeah, everything about it. I love that track. It's heavy. The whole album is just so nicely put together, and it doesn't have that compressed sound that some of these other newer bands, even older bands, have now. It's like, I don't know what it is, the reverb or what, but it just has, a lot of these bands have this like compressed sound, and it doesn't sound good. This one is an exception, and however it was mixed, it's done well, and it breathes, and I like that. So props to all these albums. Leave what you like in the comments, and I'll see you next time on my Heavy Metal Kitchen. Take care. Happy New Year.